Good morning, class 6. I am Anil Bhagat, your science teacher from Modern International School, Hiswa. Today, in this video lecture, we will discuss about chapter 10, motion and measurement of distances. In the previous lecture, we understand about the evolution of transport system, that how we humans learn to make spacecraft. Once we walk from one place to another place and it takes a huge amount of time and energy, we gradually learn to use wheel, then we learn how to make a engine, then we learn about steam engine, then we learn about how to make a spacecraft, highly advanced transport system. So in this way, our growth in transport system we discussed. Then we discussed that we need a system of measurement to measure the distances from one place to another place, and also to measure the length of things which we use in our daily life. Not only that, measurement is present in every sphere of our life, in every area of life. Without measurement, we cannot do things like this shirt I am wearing. So it should be measured in a proper way to fit in my body, or I am not able to wear this shirt. So measurement is a very important part of our life. Then we understand that what is measurement? That is, the comparison of an unknown quantity with a known fixed quantity is called measurement, and this known fixed quantity is called unit. Then we understand that how peoples measure things in ancient world, and how gradually we able to understand that we need a proper system of measurement for the sake of uniformity. And in this way, we gradually learn the system of measurement. Then in the most important event in the history of measurement is the year 1790, in which year French people sit together and they form a proper standard, a set of standard units, and they call them metric system. Then after some years of that, scientists all over the world sit together and they form the international system of units, in which the length of the unit for measuring length is meter, and when we divide meter into 100 parts we get centimeter. When we divide centimeter into 10 parts we get millimeter. So these are the units to measure small lengths. But if you measure a great length or a good length, or if you measure a distance from one place to another place, then we need a large unit. So we use kilometer for the measurement of large distances. So in this way, gradually we develop the system of measurement. Now today we have to understand how to measure a thing. So we have to understand that to measure the length of a thing, we have to understand what type of instrument we have to use. Suppose if you go to a tailor, he will measure your body size with the help of a measuring tape. But at the time of measuring cloth, he uses a meter scale, or meter rod is also there in several, to measure several type of things. So in this way, we use several types of instrument to measure the length of things. So we have to understand what type of instrument we have to use to measure what type of things. Let's use a small scale to measure a small thing, or the size of your book, you can say. So first of all, we have to understand that to measure the length and breadth of a book, we need a scale. We can use the scale which is present in your geometry box. So what we have to see first, first of all we have to place the scale with the book or with that proper thing which we are going to measure in a very proper way. So place the measuring equipment or the instrument in proper way to measure the length of the place. But before that we have to make sure that the scale is not broken, because if the scale is broken we will not get the proper measurement. Then we have to see that the markings at the corners is in proper way, because with time the marks will omitted or erased. So we have to make sure that the marks will not erase. And if the marks erase, suppose 0 to 1 marks erased, so what we will do, we will start from 1, and suppose we are measuring a thing and the length of that thing is 1 to 10. So what we have to do, we have to minus the erased marks, that is 0 to 1. So we have to minus 1 from 10, and the actual measurement is 9 centimeter. So in this way we have to take care of that erased marking part or the broken part of the scale. Then the third step, which is very important, when we are measuring anything we have to place our eyes just above the measurement thing, because if the angle between that measurement mark and eye varies, then it will create problem, we will not get the proper measurement. So these are the 3 steps we have to understand, that we have to place the equipment in a proper way with the item we are measuring. Then we have to see that the measuring equipment is a very good, no marks erased, or it is not broken. And then the angle of the eye with the measuring scale or with the marks is just above on that. Then we will get the proper measurement. Now let's discuss some example. Like suppose you want to measure the height of your friends or classmates. So what will you do? Suppose if you don't have any measuring equipment, then how will you measure? We will use the simple way like the ancient people use our handy span or our cubit to measure. We will take that boy close to a wall and mark the wall as per his height, and then we start measuring with the handy span. But here is the problem. What is the problem? That different students or different friends of yours, their body size varies, so the measurement is also varies, will not get a proper measurement. So this is why we need a proper measuring equipment. The next example is, suppose you have to measure a length of a curved line. Suppose you have to measure the length of a curved line. That how will you measure? We have to take a string or a thread, then tie a knot on the thread and put the knot on one end of the curved line, and then we have to spread the thread along the curved line. In this way, by spreading the thread along the curved line, we have to reach the next end and then tie a knot at that end also, and then measure the length between the 2 knots with the help of a scale. You can say a small scale from your geometry box, or you can have a big scale also. So when we measure with the help of that scale the distance between the 2 knots, then we are able to understand the proper length of the curved line. So this is the way we measure things in a proper way. I hope you all understand about these topics. We had already covered these topics. Today only we revise these topics. So this is the measurement part of chapter 10. We had finished today. Revision is also done. By tomorrow we will start the motion part. Read the study material I already sent in the group class. Read it again and again, so that when tomorrow we will start about motion, when we start talking about motion, we will understand it properly. Have a great day, class. Be safe at home. Thank you.